Hello YouTube and welcome to GrunfWorks. This is episode 68 of the Interplanetary Voyage of Exploration, and today it is time to transfer all the remaining supplies from our SSTO, the drone SSTO, and then return this SSTO back to Kerbin. It has fulfilled its mission. It has resupplied the orbital station Orbital Lab with the much needed food and water and oxygen, and now it's just reversing slowly back on its voyage back to the Kerbal Space Center. Okay, that being said, I'm once again re-adding waypoint KSE just for navigation reasons. I only use it when I'm sending an SSTO because I really want to see how my descent looks like and whatnot. So yeah, burning orbit retrograde to deorbit, closing the hatch or cargo bay, and pumping all remaining fuel in the forward compartments just to maintain stability. Also turning the aircraft or spacecraft prograde so it will be easier to control, making sure that all of my air brakes are extended, all the air vents are open, and that my engines have been switched in the air breathing mode. I mean, we have a total of 458 delta V in the closed cycle mode, and there will be more when we hit the air breathing mode. I'm also putting a very high angle of attack just to make sure that I brake as effectively as I possibly can, so using the whole surface of the plane to actually slow down. You've probably seen in Scott Manley's videos that he likes to turn laterally, like sideways, back and forth, and that was something that is being done in real life to bleed off energy. However, I mean, I prefer just to thrust upwards, and I think it makes life easier for me. So, making sure that I keep my nose up, making sure that I also descend at a reasonable rate. And we are closing on the KSE, 170 kilometers. So now I will be looking to slowly dropping down into the thicker layer of the atmosphere, where my air brakes will be able to bite more into the airflow, thus creating more drag and then basically slowing us down. So now I already know where the KSE is, so I'm deleting the waypoint so it doesn't mislead me. Usually they say it's a good indicator whether or not you will be landing at the KSE if you are burning over the mountains. Slowly engaging thrust, although you're still using air brakes. I want to slow down below the threshold of Mach 1, which I did, and now I'm just slowly aligning ourselves towards the runway. Indicator shows that the gear is down, which is good. So we are aligned for approach. Perfect. I have also put down a little bit time acceleration on the video because now we're closing in, so no need to play it as quickly as it's to get a nicer shot of the landing anyway. So yeah, making sure that we align nicely, and as you can see we are coming in for a very gentle glide, which is just perfect, and expecting a smooth touchdown, and what? Okay, well, it's official, I'm an idiot. Now I realize that my landing gear was retracted. But I'm pretty sure when I was landing that my indicator said it was open. Well, well, it's a good thing that this SSTO was drone based. So, but I think still it was really a valid approach, and it's just my own screw up at the landing, so I'll just live with the consequences, which is basically I will need to rebuild the SSTO again for the future mission. And now I'm adapting this advanced lander that we used to go to Duna. I'm adapting it for Jool. Basically that means that I'm putting more boosters, more rocket fuel, because I want to have simply much more delta V when I land, or not land, when I get to Jool, and I also want to have more life support. So, and since that, then we have unlocked the bigger supplies, tech life support supplies modules. So yeah, we have now definitely more juice in terms of going there, and I'm definitely putting these orange fuel tanks with me to make sure that we can have as much delta V as we possibly can. Also putting everything in asparagus staging configuration. Perfect. Just now fixing up staging. Okay, great. Let's see, two more to fix. And just to see which ones are which, it's pretty hard to figure out which one is which. Yeah, this one, and this one. Okay. Okay, once that is being done, then let's put the launch clamps. Oh yeah, and we want parachutes. So I realized that putting one parachute at the back of the booster to help it decouple is actually very useful. It basically drags the whole rocket back, and then I guess I have no problems with staging. I don't need the separatrons, which is good because I don't have yet the separatrons, to be honest. So yeah, it's a valid alternative, as long as you decouple in the atmosphere, of course. If you decouple out of the atmosphere, then you're pretty much on your own. But then again, you might not maybe need. So I want to have a little bit more science. Jool is very far out, so I'm putting goo micropod and some advanced science juniors. After all, you cannot miss with more science, right? Surface analyzer, yeah, no. Okay. Well, I'm happy enough. I'm just gonna build it. I don't want to simulate it. I already know how it works and that it works, so yeah, it's fine. Show the build list, and then I decided to scrap the build because I want to scrap the list because I wanted to put the clamps. It's a big rocket and we don't want this one to be dancing all over the place. So yeah, add it to the build list, and then I guess it is time only to accelerate it. So, perfect. Great. Then let us go and back to our Minmus Orbital Lab. Perfect. Finalizing the results of our experiments, and I'm starting a new, which is Zoology Bay experiment. So I've basically finalized the results on the plant growth, and now I'm conducting the creature comforts. But since I don't have enough Kerbals on board, I'm warping until I get enough Eurekas, to be able to perform the experiment, and once those are done, I will be making sure that I perform also to ship one Kerbal into the zoology bay to basically talk to the cows and ask them how do they feel in the orbit around Minmus, I guess. So yeah, so we have now a Eureka's, and we want to have byproducts. So now this is me just trying to do different ways of transferring Kerbals from one place to the other. I tried stock, well, that one that doesn't work for me, so I decided just to go with a regular EVA. And come on, and board. Perfect. So now we're just warping until my station has basically conducted all of the experiments, and once those are done, we will be finalizing the results and returning the results back to Kerbin. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that now by this time the experiments have finished. So I'm just gonna collect my Kerbals, put them in the... Okay, please stop dancing around, will you? Thank you. And I'll just be putting them... Oh, reaction wheel failure. Which reaction wheel? By the looks of it, this reaction wheel failure is from the reaction wheel which is in this Kerbal's head. From the way I see it. Well, no matter. Okay, buddy. Just get in there and we'll fix your reaction wheels later. You can get a nice person to talk to, you sit on a bench or a bed and the guy talks to you and nicely. Yeah. So I'm just trying to transfer Kustha from Zoology Bay to the other one, and here you can see me that I'm having some problems with some strange bugs. I don't know how that works, but yeah, I'm just now making sure to transfer all of my Kerbals into the command pod. I want to leave the station empty. And let's see. Okay, board. And this is really strange. I see 2 Kerbals and I don't see the last one, so I think now I have emptied. This should be the 3rd one. Okay, come on, board. I'll still see 2. Well, let's just go like this. I'll extend the solar panels and I'll decouple, and I'm hoping that all of my 3 Kerbals will actually be there. So transferring all of the science into the command pod and decouple. And here we have only 2 Kerbals. Hold on a second. That ain't right. Where's my 3rd one? And here you have Kustha, which is somehow bugged out in the zoology bay again. Probably because I was trying to transfer it via the stock module. I don't know. It seems to me that there's a bug with that. So anyway, by now I should have all of my 3 of my Kerbals transferred. Hopefully. Yes. Great. Thank you. Okay, time to enable our, well, motors and to get back home to Kerbin with some bounty of science. Okay, just tweaking the Kerbin periapsis. And it seems that our space station is wobbling a bit. I have no idea why is that happening, but I'm pretty sure I don't want to stick around long enough to find out why. So, yeah, let's just get the hell out of Dodge. And aligning myself with the maneuver node, getting to the maneuver node, and then we will be burning to return the sweet science back home to Kerbin. (158 meters per second burn for our grand total of 900 and something. So we have more than enough. And perfect. Simple, easy, quite simplistic mission, and our periapsis is around 20, which I think is good. So yeah, let's keep it at that, and let us just leave Minmus' sphere of influence and go back home, simply. Slowly departing from Minmus. Nice view. I really admire the comings and goings when you're approaching or leaving a planet. I just found it to be, together with the music of the KSP, so nice, so serene. I mean, yeah. So, okay. Coming back to the Kerbin's sphere of influence. And... flop. Yep, we're there. Okay, so... okay, we have a periapsis of 20 kilometers, which is great, because if we didn't, we would be going to the moon. So, yeah, with this bounty of science, I'm actually just more interested to get back home to Kerbin. And here we can see the moon Kerbin dance. Beautiful. Hello. And... bam, we're coming in. Perfect. In the atmosphere, closing up the solar panels, aligning the orbit retrograde, and when we descend enough, I will be popping the chutes, of course. So, we have a plenty of delta V which we could use to slow down, but then again, why? I am slightly concerned because we are over the highlands, so yeah, we don't want to be basically tipping over, but then again, this is a small lander and the heaviest parts are at the bottom, so I'm not overly concerned. Calculating the impact time and the slopes are pretty harsh-ish, but then again, we'll see. 2,000 meters and whoa! Now this was intense. And bam. Yeah, well, typical Kerbal landing. The good thing is that the experiments, if you remember, we have transferred back to the actual pod. So we were managed to retrieve some science, which netted us a total of 696 science, which is nice. And moreover, we have recovered Rem-T, Moomin, and Kustha. Welcome home, guys. Sorry for the little bit rough landing. That's what you get when you aim for highlands, I guess. Perfect, and these guys have gotten some nice ribbons, I guess. Rem-T, yep. And I don't know why, but it seems that my mission counter resets for some reason on the final frontier. But still you can see heavy vehicle launch, etc, etc. A bounty of ribbons, yeah, why not? Let's see, who more? Moomin, yep, same thing. Scientific service ribbon. That's nice. And then Kustha. Where are you, Kustha? Ah, there you are. And you have operational service ribbon, and together with all others. Perfect. And we have 696 science, which is a very nice amount. So, let's see. Yeah. I want to basically accelerate time until we get our mini chemical probe from Dres. Because that one is coming into the Dres sphere of influence in 2 hours. So let's go and examine that one. And those mini chemical probes, those are really minuscule probes, which I was rethinking after my huge probes some of them went failing. So yeah, it's a minimalistic approach. Great. So perfect, and let's us just now slowly go into the Dres field, like sphere of influence. And soon enough, 15 minutes to sphere of influence change. And oh yeah, now I'm just trying to go as slowly as possible, not to screw my Dres encounter. Yeah, the problem is I failed to notice one thing, and that's we are going to Dres. The only issue that I have with it is, well, I don't see Dres. Oh, there it is. So yes, I'm now just making sure to come at the periapsis and to burn enough to stop us down, which is 1800 or 1400, which we don't have, so I think we will be doing a flyby. And then I realized another very troubling issue. Depending on how we turn towards the sun, my solar panels are not producing enough electricity for me to be able to maintain the flight computer connection. So yes, I'm not even able to do most of the experiments. Man, all the trouble into launching the Dres probe, and then I get nothing. By the way, guys, here also my hard drive crashed once or twice, so I lost some footage. But what I managed to squeeze out is like 2 of my files got corrupted because my fraps crashed, simply. So I couldn't recover the video feed. But this is what I managed to recover, and this is just approach to Dres, and then leaving Dres, and then further on. But the time from until like this coming to Dres, I've lost the footage. I'm sorry. Yeah. So, and here is the footage of us leaving, and I also had obviously a tracking failure. So my probe could no longer, or my solar panels could no longer track the probe. So a lot of like bugs, crashes on this mission. I don't know why. But the good news is I also found one very strange bug, is that when it was turning, I was able at a certain point in time to get just a little bit of juice in by some, I don't know what magic, but well, I was able to collect some juice, and I was able to perform and send just a few results of the experiment. So I did manage to get a little bit of science from this one, apart from just a beautiful view. Sorry, couldn't be more scientific, guys, and sorry I had to cut this part so short, but maybe we'll revisit Dres at some later point. I don't know, it's in the 090 it's not that much interesting. And as you can see here now, my my basically electric charge starts going up and down, and I decided, well, maybe it's a bug, but ultimately, guys, I just don't care. So I'm just using it when it pops up to do the measurements and send whatever data I can back to Kerbin, because yeah, we need it. So, but after this one I think I'll be scrapping this mission, so yeah. And now we're nearing SOI change, so well, what we managed together, so And guys, I think I'm gonna call it for this episode. Like if you like the episode, and hit subscribe for more KSC content that will be coming soon. Thank you very much for watching. This is GrunfWorks signing off.